Alright, so this time it's going to be an infinite Darkcaster overview, and let's get started. In order to obtain this class, you will have to be a member of the Undead Legion, so that's the first requirement, and you're going to need 2,000 Legion tokens to get this class. It's available all year. I recommend this class for anyone in the early mid-game. By the way, Evolved Darkcaster is the exact same class, it's just that it looks different and it's rare, while this one is available throughout the year, forever. Now moving on with the enhancements. For base enhancements, I would recommend Full Luck, even though this is an offensive caster, but yes, you want to go Full Luck. You can try Wizard if you want to. Wizard will basically just give you a bit more survivability, especially with your heals. But your damage is actually increased with luck. I would say if you want to, max would be 2 Wizard, but either Full Luck or 3 Luck and 1 Wizard should be fine. However, if you have access to Forge or Awe enhancements, then here are some recommendations. Moving on to the passives. Your first rank 4 passive increases your crit chance by 12%. Your second rank 4 passive increases your damage by 10%, and it also increases your dodge chance by 15%, which is quite unorthodox for an offensive caster. Finally, your rank 10 passive makes it so that all physical damage you receive will be reduced by 12%. Your auto attack is pretty unique, in which it's 0.5 seconds quicker, but only deals 75% weapon damage to balance it out. It's a long range attack that hits one target and has a 20% chance of stunning the target for 1 second. It also deals spell damage as well. The auto attack is stronger the more spell power you have. Before we move on to the other skills, I want to quickly take a look at the rank 10 passive, which is a reduction of all incoming physical damage by 12%. Now, thankfully most normal monsters in this game deal physical damage, but how does that actually work? In order to calculate how much damage the enemy would do before and after your rank 10 passive, you're going to need to get 100% of your enemy's outgoing damage and minus it by 12%, which is our rank 10 passive in this case, and that'll be 88%. Now 88% is 0.88 in decimal format. In this case, Diligis's attack range is between 225 to 274. So we would multiply 0.88 by 225 and we would get 198. And 0.88 times 274 would be 241.12. Now don't quote me on this, but I believe they round decimal numbers to their nearest integer. So Diligis went from hitting us for 225 to 274 to 198 to 241 with a non-crit, based on our rank 10 passive. Now that's all fine and good, but what if we were to equip Penitence? So we have a 25% extra damage resistance now, and it's actually separate from your physical and magical resistance. So you would think that with 12% physical resistance you would add it to the 25%, but that's not how it works. It would be much easier if it was, but you don't actually add them together. You're actually supposed to multiply them together. Similarly, what if we removed Penitence and added Avarice? Now Avarice, if you didn't know, actually decreases your damage resistance by 35%. So instead of gaining damage resistance, we actually lose it. So now the damage range for Diligus should be anywhere between 267 or 268 to 326 non-crit damage. So obviously, yes, they are going to be hitting us for extra damage. And yeah, I thought it would be better if I just made it in this video so I don't have to keep referring it later on in the future. But yeah, let's continue on with the skills now. Your second skill is called Overshadowed, and it affects one target, and you apply Blighted Sight to the opponent. This reduces their haste and hit chance by 7%, stacks 3 times, and lasts 8 seconds. Something I forgot to mention is that due to your auto attack's quicker cooldown, you'll have more of a chance of actually proccing the 20% stun, which means that if you're lucky enough, then you could literally chain stun your target, which is quite nice. Your third skill is called Onyx Combustion. This deals damage to 2 enemies in medium range, and it basically applies smoldering onto them, which makes them take 15% more damage for 6 seconds. I'm clicking my left mouse button, but I'm not attacking the enemy because I'm not in range. Now there's a reason why I specifically picked this map to do the demonstration on. It's because, depending on the map size, medium range is actually not that, big. So if you want to attack someone from halfway across the map, you can't. You actually have to go physically close to them, which kind of sucks because, if you want to farm with this class, you're going to have to be close to them. And, your first skill, your auto attack, your second skill, they're all long range, but this skill, it's you have to be in medium range. Your fourth skill is called Stygian Pact, and it basically heals you and 2 other allies. And it gives the primary healer a heal over time for 12 seconds. So the primary healer is pretty much going to be you most of the time, well, 99% of the time. So it's going to heal you, give you a heal over time, but it's also going to heal 2 other allies, but they won't get any heal over time. Your fifth skill is called Soul Scourge. It deals damage to 3 enemies, and it's a guaranteed crit. It can never miss, and you apply Decay onto them, all 3 of them, negating all non-lifesteal healing for 10 seconds. I remember getting wrecked so many times by this skill and getting one shot in Bludgeon Brawl a decade ago. You can solo with this class if you want to, but just note that with base enhancements, your DPS isn't going to be the best. Even though your third skill basically buffs the amount of damage you're going to be doing to your enemy, your fifth skill has a particularly long cooldown, and that's basically the most damaging part of the class. With that being said, assuming the enemy isn't immune to stuns, your auto attack is very unique and helpful with sustain, and also your second skill, which reduces the enemy haste and hit chance, also blends in very well with your rank 4 passive. On top of that, your fourth skill should allow you to live longer throughout the fight. And with Forge enhancements, it doesn't really change much of the base class, but of course, increased haste, bigger heals, and bigger damage, so that's quite nice. You can honestly just spam with this class, but maybe just start with your 3 for the increased damage. You can farm with this class, so go ahead if you want to, but just know that you're going to be delaying and sustaining while your 5th skill basically comes off cooldown. When your 5th skill is up, you're immediately wanting to hit it. Of course, you're wanting to hit it after you apply your 3rd skill, but just know that your 3rd skill only affects 2 targets while your 5th skill affects 3 targets. So one target is not going to be receiving the full amount of damage. I wish they would change it to 3 targets, and I would wish they would change the third skill to be long range, like every other skill. Which would be nice. Here is an example of what I was talking about. As you can see, I'm with Forge. I'm just barely unable to one-shot them due to me having Avarice. If I had Vainglory, I would be able to one-shot them, but as you can see, my third skill only applies to 2 targets, and with those 2 targets, I actually end up, killing them. However, the one that's survived on low health will basically require an extra auto attack or something from my second skill to finish them off, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, I really hope they change it from 2 monsters to 3 monsters and increase its range. Supporting here is pretty tricky because you obviously can if you want to, but while you do have a debuff from your second skill and also a potential stun from your auto attack, as well as a heal from your fourth skill, that's where it starts becoming a bit weird, since your fourth skill only heals 3 targets and one of them is you. So it's kind of weird. If you're in like a 4-man room, one person isn't going to get healed, and the primary target, which is in most cases you, will be the only one having a heal over time. Yeah, no worries, mate. Let me heal you just so you can die right after. Oh, and get this. On some occasions, not even the heal over time can save you. I'm gonna leave. I'm actually trolling. For real, for real. You know, I reckon that the same type of people that pick this class to support are the same type of people that pick Genos when their team needs heals. I hope you understand what I mean by this. With that being said though, is it really my fault that they made a 4-man challenge boss room for me to show the supportive capabilities of this class? You never know, I could be a level 50 and that event gets shoved in my face when I log in. So I could just be like, oh, Infinite Darkcaster, I have it. It has a heal. Let's use it here. This class will struggle with enemies that are immune to stuns and deal high enough damage where your heals are basically redundant and your physical resistance and dodge chance, along with your hit chance reduction on the enemy, isn't going to help much. Overall, in my opinion, I think Infinite Darkcaster is a generous class. It can do lots of things, however, it can't exceed in any of them. And don't take it from me, take it from the class designer themselves. It's like a jack of all trades, master of none type of thing, sort of like a project manager. But yeah, you have to look at the skills. Your second skill is for bosses, then your third skill just goes to farming. Your fourth skill is a heal, which doesn't even heal everyone, and then your fifth skill is an AoE nuke that applies decay. So you're thinking like, oh, soloing, farming, supporting, bludger brawl. It's like all over the place. To be honest with you, I could literally say that this class is absolute dog shit, but still go get it since you need it for Revenant. But in all seriousness, maybe it's fine like that. Maybe that's what gives Infinite Darkcaster its identity. Not being good in one thing, but being okay at everything. It's like, would you rather be diamond in one game and bronze in another? Or would you rather be gold in both games? Well, the latter option would be Infinite Darkcaster. So, yeah. That concludes the Infinite Darkcaster overview. Thanks for watching, and see ya.